like J.Brock, cause I can score with a second on the clock.
J.Brock is Clapitup LA. That's right. Yeah, we're about to jump into this. Coming to the stage, we got the founder and CEO of Los Angeles-based media company, Sbrbn LA, whose goal is to influence positive energy, motivation, wealth, truth, good sex, good weed, a good life, and most importantly, Los Angeles culture, y'all. In need of good eats, be sure to follow Good LA for the best food, drink, and entertainment in the city. Looking for women, culture, and excellence, and more women that make some noise. Come on. Looking for women, culture, and excellence? Be sure to follow Sbrbn Wife. Shout out to Sbrbn right there. There we go. The man we have coming to the stage tonight keeps his faith over fear. Come on, creates his own luck and gets motivated when you tell him something he can't do. Come on now. And understand, this Sbrbn brand is Los Angeles to the world, y'all. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, clap it up and make some noise for the one and only Scottie. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. I need y'all to make some noise again. We got something legendary going on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Clapitup. This is Clapitup LA and Sbrbn LA. And y'all know, this whole situation right here, we couldn't do it without Black Collar. Black Collar is the glue to everything. Make some noise for Black Collar, man. Come on. I need y'all to say the best band in the land. The best band in the land. Come on. Shout out to Black Collar, y'all. Now, Scottie, we gonna jump into this.
I got energy. I like this crowd. I got energy.
We gonna jump into this.
Let's do it.
Starting from a child, right? I need you because people seem to question where you from, Scottie. I don't understand this. But starting from a child, I want you to speak on the elementary school that changed your life, and talk about how important that was for you to experience as a child. Shout out to that.
I think that's hard to think back all the way in, but just growing up in LA, y'all know how it is, man. Like, I had to take the bus like I'm sure y'all did as well. Walking to school, taking the bus, parents couldn't take me. But definitely Budlong Elementary for sure. Yeah,
man, shout out to that elementary school. I mean, so when you think about your childhood, what I want to understand is this. What are some of the lessons that brought you to where you are today? I mean, if y'all don't know, Sbrbn LA is one of the biggest media companies right now. They just celebrated 50,000 followers, y'all. So if y'all need some promo, this is the guy you need to talk to. Yeah, Scottie is Sbrbn LA.
Absolutely. So what's the question?
What I want to take us back to the time where you sold donuts and you sold candy and hot chips in elementary school.
Taking it back.
Yeah, we got to.
So I guess what he's really speaking on is like where I got my entrepreneurial spirit from. Yeah. We rented out classrooms, you know what I'm saying? I think we made it pay like $50 every week. And me and my friend Martin Gonzalez, I think he's in the crowd somewhere, but
shout out Martin.
Absolutely. We rented out our teacher's classroom and we started a club called Tyrone and Jyrone Snack Shack, which was a play on Dave Chappelle. He had a club in his show called that. And so we started a club. We used to bring our Xbox. My mom would bring donuts every morning, and we would start a club. You have to pay $5 to get in, $5 to play the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? You pay $1 for a donut. But most importantly, what that did was spark the idea of starting a business in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea coming from LA that you could start and own a business. You know what I mean? So that school is really what started it for me, for sure.
Man, shout out to that. Clap it up for that, y'all. One of the lessons that I got from this is it's important to let our children be creative. You know, like my son running around the house and he building stuff and, you know, he's hitting baseball bats and stuff like that. And I'm just letting him be creative instead of stopping his creative mind from flowing. So that's something that's extremely important. Now, Scottie, when you look at your brand today, you know what I'm saying? How often do you ever think about how far you came?
To be honest with you, only time I really think about it is I got a super duper great close knit like team and really friendship and brotherhood You know what I'm saying? I got Keem Harwood that's in here, Craig York that's in here. And these dudes, like me and Craig just got off a call today, and it's like he's calling, checking me daily, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only time that I really been able to like go back and think about how far I've come, or just how long I've been doing this shit that we've been doing. But it really comes down to my team, man. Like that's really the only thing that really makes me go back and think about where we started and where we at. Because even now, like, we have a certain amount of notoriety, you know what I'm saying? We were in downtown the other day, somebody was like, yo, Mr. Sbrbn LA, I see you, and like, that shit is cool, and we recognize that and we appreciate that, but having a good backbone, you know what I'm saying, a good amount of people behind me that's there to guide me through that is what's really important, you know what I mean?
Man, shout out to teamwork. Clap it up for teamwork, y'all. Like they say, teamwork makes the dream work. But there's something that we gotta understand about teamwork. It's a process. You know, you come and you build with people. Like they say, some people are there for a season and some people are there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And that's teamwork right there. So talk about the difficulties of building a team. You had a conversation with your brother, right? And he told you before the brand was to take off and be everything that it's supposed to be, you needed a team and you need structure. So talk about the process of building a team.
Yeah, I think teamwork, first of all, you can't do nothing without your team, you know what I'm saying? That's number one, and that's the first thing. You can't do nothing by yourself, and that's something I had to learn myself. I think the hardest part about building a team is like trusting people, you know what I'm saying? I started the brand, which is Sbrbn LA, this media company, for a long time, maybe like, we've been operating for I think maybe 11 years, which is crazy to say.
11 years, y'all.
But for the first maybe 80% of that, this thing was like something that I felt came from my brain. It was like a piece of art for me, you know what I'm saying? And so when you start to bring on a team which allows you to scale a business, it becomes difficult when in your mind it's been like an artwork for you. So I'm saying, I've painted this picture, this thing has become mine, it's mine. So don't touch my shit, you know what I'm saying? And so when you bring on a team, you have to allow people to then bring their vision and what their artistic flair to it and paint on your painting, you know what I'm saying? It feels like your baby. And so for me, I speak for myself, the hardest part is, one, allowing people to touch your vision, you know what I'm saying, and stretch it farther than you may have stretched it. And then the second part about it, and we were talking about this morning, me and Craig, is just like holding yourself accountable, because if you don't take your time serious, if you don't take your vision serious, if you don't take your business serious, nobody else around you is going to take it serious.
That's a fact. Clap it up for that.
That's the hardest part.
That's a fact. See, here's the thing. You got to understand, when you're working on something, this is your dream. This is your vision. Nobody's going to care more than you. If you don't take it serious, nobody else will. So when you finally get to grips of that, when did you find somebody that you felt that you can trust? Like, all right, I can trust you with my vision.
That's a tough one. When do you find somebody that you can trust with your vision?
Or how do you know you can trust them?
I think that you don't lean on the, man, that's a really good question. You're making me think right now.
That's a beautiful thing.
You're making me think right now. I think time is a huge component, you know what I mean? I also think just you know at the time. I think that's what it comes down to. I can't say anything else besides time. Like, I got somebody on her name named Jada, you know what I'm saying, who has just put in the time with me, and I know I can trust her with certain things, and I feel as though she won't ever cross past those boundaries. Craig, I've known for, it's crazy, I'm getting old, 15 years or something. That's just crazy to say. But I think time is the one thing that lets you know who you can trust and who's really dedicated. Obviously, like when it comes to getting certain things done, you know, you gotta watch performance and things like that, but building a bond over time is like, you can't beat time. You know? So time is, I think, the king over most things. You know? So I would say time, like watching people over time, watch what they do, watch the vibes they give you, and you'll know who's in your corner and who's not.
That's a fact, shout out to that. Now, one of the things you do is you study the CEOs of the Barstool Sports and Complex.
For sure.
What are some of the, what's some of the game that you're getting from them? Because, I heard my pop say, he said I had to be a great follower before I could be a leader. You know what I'm saying? So what's some of the game that you get from Complex and Barstool Sports that you apply to your own situation?
The number one thing is just never give up. Like, that's the number one thing across any leader that I've ever seen. Like, they all say the same shit. Was like, yo, we were a week away from demise before we really popped off, you know what I'm saying? And even though I look back on like our story, me and Craig started this brand 12 years ago. I think it was in 10th grade when we started this. And one thing, or the reason why we are where we are today is just like, I took the vision and I just never stopped doing it, you know what I mean? There was a point in time I was at my mom's crib, he was upstairs. I remember I had a little 2-desk monitor. I had my shirt off and this sleep right here, he's right here, his name Keem Hardwick. I was like, yo, I'm done with this shit. Like, this shit bullshit. We getting a couple likes. Like, ain't no money popping. I'm doing Uber. Like, this, like, it was complete bullshit. Like, in my mind, at least. And he was just like, yo, just keep going. You know what I'm saying? And so, when I look back to everybody that I've studied, that was the #1 thing. Like, just keep going. You know what I'm saying? If you got a vision, you can't stop at it at all. There's no stopping. There's no stopping.
That's a beautiful thing. Clap it up for that, y'all. Come on now.
Yeah, don't clap loud.
What's so great about this is that it's keep going. You know, all of us through our life are faced with this situation where it don't feel like it's working, ain't nobody feeling what's going on, but you never know what it could be if you give up. Keep working.
And that's where I would stop. And, well, not stop, but I want to add on. I want to ask you the same question. You know what I'm saying? For you, what's your answer to that? You know what I'm saying? What is the one thing that keeps you going? I see you come from where we came from. We was just doing an interview in a studio. Now we here. Like, for you, what's the one thing that keeps you going?
The one thing that keeps me going is my vision. I see where it's going. And I always tell myself it's only up. You know what I'm saying? You see, so this is the thing. You get to a point to where you've gone too far to quit.
Absolutely.
And I feel like I've came too far to give up.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is for me, and I think that's extremely important. So, you know, how thankful are you that you didn't give up on those days when you could have? Because we all face that. How thankful are you now?
Man, hella thankful, bro. What? I literally was finna quit at like right before we blew the fuck up. Like, and I forgot the chapter. It's one of my favorite books called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Shout out to that book. Yeah.
And it's like 5 feet, 10 feet from gold, one of those things. And it's like how men, maybe not men, but people, man, stops right before they hit the goal. You know what I'm saying? And like, I saw that happen in real time, where I was like, literally called the homie. I was like, yo, this shit's bullshit. I'm done. He told me to keep going, and maybe like 2 weeks, I got that spurt of energy that took us to the next level. It's literally crazy.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I gotta say confirmation. Everybody say confirmation.
Confirmation.
So one thing that continues to happen is I get this confirmation. You know, even if I feel like this ain't working, it's always like God hits me with this confirmation at the keyest moments ever. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that'll keep you going. Now we're gonna talk about this. DJ Head, right? Shout out DJ Head. You know what I'm saying? Homegrown Radio. He don't talk to everybody. However, when he met you, he talked to you for 45 minutes about what your brand was gonna turn into.
Yeah.
So what I want to ask you, how was that conversation?
DJ Head actually called me today. I missed his call, but DJ Head, he operates as a mentor for me, man. He always calls me. He tells me that I operate out of ego. You know what I'm saying? Which for a cool minute, I was like, I don't operate out of ego. But
why does he say that?
Because it's true. It's true. Like, and that's the thing that like kind of pushes me forward is my ego. You know what I'm saying? I embrace it now. But the question was, what was
the conversation like?
He was really telling me to understand my why, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so thankful for that conversation, because I just came from a middle school where I was talking to a bunch of kids. And as I look over like I've been doing this for like 11 years. As I look over my last 8 years maybe, I realized the one thing that I've struggled to master is like my why, you know what I'm saying? And not knowing my why and why I was doing what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? You could give me $100 million right now. After the $100 million, you could buy Sbrbn and I would never do it again. But I would wake up and I would have a longing and a yearning to do something again. And the question is, where does that why come from? And so he was just urging me to like really figure out why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Again, I give you this dude right here, I give you $100 million right now. But when you wake up tomorrow, you got to do something with your life. And the question is, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you waking up? You have a purpose that God gave you. What is that purpose to you? You know what I mean? And so he was just urging me to like, yo, you got a great brand, you're doing what you're doing, but why are you doing what you're doing? And then when I look back, it's like I want to inspire the kids that I was looking up to when I was younger. I was looking up to P. Diddy, Jay-Z. I was looking up to dudes I was pulling up in Rari's with fine women, you know what I'm saying, at beautiful restaurants with luxurious things. And that's what piqued my interest in going and doing something greater. And so now as an adult, I can look back and say, yo, that's kind of what I want to do. And I was inspired.
Clap it up for that, clap it up for that, yeah. Now see, that right there is dope. The why. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say why.
Why?
That's all that matters.
Yeah, we all have to have a why. Like for me, when I do, this makes me feel complete. I've never felt so complete, you know what I'm saying, until I started doing what I'm doing. So,
and that becomes the thing. It's like, yo, whether I'm flipping burgers, whether I'm owning a media company such as I do, whether I'm renting cars out, whether I'm a teacher, you pushing out your why. And as long as it fulfills that, you whole inside, you know, and that's what matters.
That's a fact. That's a fact right there, man. And so, here's the thing right here, right? You have morning meetings, you know what I'm saying? One of the things we discuss is how can we drive more engagement? You taking it to another level with the brand, driving more engagement. I see you doing things like message of the week, daily check-ins. What, you know, where did that come from?
We just want to inspire people to move forward. Like our brand is all about pushing the culture forward. So at the end of the day, I know we come from LA, which is like, you know what I'm saying? It can be good at sometimes, but you know, we stand on pushing the culture forward. We stand on inspiring people, making people live in the spirit of abundance. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we live in Los Angeles, where niggas like Jake Paul come from Ohio and come make $1 million. But my niggas that's in Inglewood, like I ain't going over there because I'm from LA. And so, message of the week is really just to give you a message of the week to let you know, like, yo, it's something out here that you can go get. You know what I'm saying? Like you can put your foot to your pedal to the metal and go get it. It's abundance out here. We live in Los Angeles. It's one of the greatest places in the world. And we just want to inspire people to hold their chin up, you know what I'm saying, chest out, like Nick was saying, and just go get it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Real quick. Everybody up in the house, I need y'all to make some noise real quick. So, most recently, you did this collaboration with Universal Soul Circus, right?
Huge.
Everybody can't do that, you know what I'm saying? But you got the access to work. How many of y'all went to Universal Soul Circus this year? Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? So, Scottie, you pulled up, got some media work in with them. Talk about having that type of access in the city going around with your brand.
You know, until you ask that question, like, I think that we like in such go mode where we just kind of overlook stuff like that. But as I go back to like my child, I remember going to Universal Soul Circus.
Me too.
So fast forward how many ever years it was to be able to work with them, to be able to meet the owner, for him to look me in my eyes and like know who I am after, you know what I'm saying, maybe a decade of not being able to experience that. It's huge, and it's a testament to like where we are, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we got the cultures, the meat and potatoes of the cultures in our hand, and it's a blessing, like at the end of the day. But it comes after just years of like hard work and putting it in, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't have did it without Craig, I couldn't have did it without Luna or anybody that helped me put it together. But it just speaks on like the years of consistency that we put in, you know what I'm saying? Like none of this just happened. You know what I'm saying? We was putting in work the whole time. It was just consistency, you know what I'm saying? It led us to a spot where a brand such as Universal Soul Circus could recognize us and say, hey, we want to choose y'all. They could have went to Power 106. They could have went to so many other LA brands, but they came to us. You know what I'm saying? Because they recognize the impact that we have on the culture.
Yeah, man. Shout out to that. Clap it up for that. Come on. Shoot, when I saw Sbrbn LA was with Universal Soul Circus, I was like, why didn't I try that? You feel what I'm saying? Like, man, that's crazy. It's levels. Now, speaking of these high notoriety brands, we gotta talk about you being in the same room with Earn Your Leisure. You know what I'm saying? Shout out DJ Head Chuck Dizzle. You feel me? You was in a room and collecting that energy. How was that?
It was beautiful. One thing I'll say though, like even in being in these rooms, I've always felt like I should be in these rooms. Like I ain't never walked in a room and felt like I shouldn't be in a room with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't important. I feel like I am important, I feel like I belong in those rooms. So that's one, you know what I'm saying, I think that's important for everybody in this room to start to adapt. You belong in those rooms. Secondly, it was a blessing, and like like as somebody that's a student, like I just sat back and soaked up game. So when I get in a room with somebody that's higher stature, if you will, quote unquote, I just soak up game, man. I just appreciate the opportunity, you know.
What type of game was spit that night?
A lot of ownership talk, and I think ownership is huge, but most importantly, it's a consistency piece, bro. Them dudes are consistent, bro. They show up every single day, every single hour, every single minute, every single second. And they just put the work in. That's really what it is.
That's a fact, man. Shout out to Earn Your Leisure. That right there is huge because that's real legendary energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a specific mind to really listen to what Earn Your Leisure doing all the time. Like, I tried it and I just stopped because it just didn't appeal to me. So what's one of the things that you admire that Earn Your Leisure does?
I like that they put themselves out there. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to put yourself in front of a crowd. It takes a lot to put yourself in front of an audience, because it comes with a lot of opinions. Now, higher you go, you gotta take scrutiny from people. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a lot. It can toll a lot on your mental, for sure.
That's a fact. Everybody clap it up for that. Come on, clap it up for that. Now, Sbrbn LA with this specific orange color. Every brand has this color. Like, I feel like mine is red, yours is orange. What's the significance behind orange?
Yeah, when I was looking through it, like red and yellow is supposed to be like for food.
Yeah, and that's why I don't
understand food. I just felt like orange was a bright, positive color. Like, I've always been I play too much. If you know me, I don't take shit serious. I play too much. And so I felt like orange was different. And it led to the opportunity of just like it led to the opportunity not only want to be different, but it was just positive, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I wanted to be for LA culture. Like, it was positive. Most importantly, it was different. Those are the two things.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I feel that. Now, coming with the everyday content y'all coming with. What's going on with the game plan of Sbrbn LA? Because we see y'all out in the streets a lot more. We were talking about it a little bit outside. You have your homegirl doing the outside content and stuff like that. Yeah, Sbrbn on the streets. Now speak on where the game plan for that is. Like, what's the ultimate goal there?
Yeah, so we've done a super duper good job of like curating the people's content. You know what I'm saying? So if you look on our socials, mainly our socials, what we've done is like curated like the voice of LA. We've decentralized the voice of LA. Things that people in LA think, things that people in LA say. We've decentralized that, and we've really like created a platform for that. The next iteration for us is creating original content that comes directly from us, our creators. So which is why you'll see Luna or Sarita on the streets asking people's questions. You know what I mean? That's a version of original content that comes from us that we're not taking from Twitter. We're not taking from TikTok that y'all be on. We're creating it. It's coming from our gut. It's coming from our soul, and we're giving it to y'all. So that's really the next iteration for us. YouTube, audio, video, our newsletter, which is huge. I'm super proud of that. And our editorials, which is like our blog, which is news, culture, shit like that.
Man, shout out to the newsletter. How many of y'all have been reposted by Sbrbn LA on Twitter?
I did!
Shout out to that. I swear.
Yeah. We done taken like 4 or 5 of that shit.
Hey, look, I feel like Sbrbn LA has done a great job of making people think, oh, maybe they can use this as another tweet that they repost. Yeah, no. I swear, I be thinking like that.
I be on like Twitter and I be like, they for sure said this, so we'll repost
it.
So I'm not gonna repost it.
Wait. Okay, so why wouldn't you repost it if you know that's the
because the one thing that makes us like different is like, or even the thing I'll tell our creators is like, yo, be authentic, you know what I'm saying? They'll send me a video of them like, and they're trying to be funny. Don't try to be funny, just be funny, you know what I'm saying? Let it be real. And that's the one thing that made us different is we posted real shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just shit that's, and I probably shouldn't curse as much, my mama told me to curse. But we just post things that's real to the culture. Like, don't try to come out and like force something, you know what I'm saying? We can see that, it's obvious. Everybody can see that. We in a digital age where ads don't work. So if you're trying to make something sell or you're trying to force something in there, it's BS and we can see through that. So it's just real thoughts that come from the mind. I always tell like our creators, like, look, whatever your first thought is on whatever topic it is, that is the real shit. That's it right there, and that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? And if it's dope, people will gravitate to it. If it's not, then you're just not that dope. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is.
I mean, it's a growing situation. Everybody say LA culture.
LA culture.
LA culture.
LA culture.
Speak on what LA culture means to you, Scottie.
Damn, boy.
And wait, what is LA culture? How about that?
For me, LA culture is, man, my pops being from A-Trade, you know what I'm saying? My mom's working hard, having every good job. LA told you, working at the airport. LA, you know what I'm saying? And them raising a kid and wanting the best for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to go through a lot of the gang shit, and I'm thankful for that. Or at least for me, it is wanting to provide for my family, being the one that everybody looks to, that's like, yo, you gonna be the one that's taking us out of here, but not being too fool for my uncles that were really on that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got a little bit of that, I'm finna take it to the next level, but I also got a little bit of my uncle and my auntie's bullshit that's in me at the same time, you know what I'm saying? The alcoholism, you know what I'm saying? The gang banging, like that's in my blood at the end of the day, I'm with the shits. But at the same time, my family sacrificed a lot to put me in position to go and make it. So we're that young in-between sector where it's like you could go make it or you could fall to the bullshit that we come from. And it's really a tug and pull of like which way you gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we all in that situation.
Yeah, now real quick, Scottie earned his degree from Morehouse College. Clap it up loud. Come on. Now, you gotta understand, even though that may be the environment you come up in, you don't have to be of that environment. Put in the work and do something differently. Now, Scottie, Morehouse College, how much of that education have you been able to put into where you are today?
How much of that education? You know what? The one and only thing Morehouse taught, I ain't gonna say the one and only thing, the most important thing that going to college taught me, and I think it's unique to my story, because it's the only school I applied to, that's one. Secondly, I got in, and then it was like, yo, you got in, but nigga, we ain't got the credit to get loans, and we ain't got enough money to send you, so you gonna have to figure it out. So I had to literally bust my ass day and night all summer, because they on East Coast time, so I was waking up at like 5 a.m. because they opened up at 8. So I was waking up at 5 a.m. West Coast time, skipping summer, missing J. Cole concerts that was out here. And I was calling, I knew the desk lady name by name, and I'm like, yo, I need access to the school. It's the only school I applied for. And so waking up, literally, I'm not kidding y'all, like every single day to call the office to try to get a scholarship, it just taught me, and I've said it before, like the power of perseverance, bro. Like that shit is, if you show up every single day, I truly believe you're gonna get whatever it is that you're trying to get to. And that's the one thing that school taught me, because they was not letting up. I'm talking about, and again, Craig York is somewhere in here, I can't see nothing. It's dark as hell, y'all don't even understand. But, like, Craig he went to school with me, he went to Morehouse as well. He was in class, and I'm like still calling like, yo, what can y'all do for me? And I finally got in just off the pure, like, I swear to God, I willed this shit into fruition. So that's the one thing school taught me. Besides persistence, the other thing is like relationships. That shit is key. I got niggas that went to Morehouse that went and hit like 10 million. I'm like, damn, I can't be that nigga friend. Like,
Yeah.
But other than that, we cool.
Relationships are everything. Everybody say relationships.
Relationships.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, it's difficult to make it without it. You know, sometimes it's something as simple as somebody vouching for you real quick. Hey, I believe in her. I believe in him. They can do it. And that's what gets you into those doors. And so that's one thing I feel like, you know, respect is everything, because life comes full circle. And when life comes full circle, you want to be on the right side of that circle. You know what I'm saying? So respect is everything. So when you talking about going through that hustle, you know what I'm saying, that grind, you know, even being doubted by your own teacher, like we said, what motivates you is somebody telling you something that you can't do. So when you go through all that mentally, how much stronger did that make you for where you are right now?
I think the doubt definitely makes you stronger. It's a point in time though, like when the doubt hits you and it's just like you on your ass. And again, I'll point to like my team, like, and I don't know, we can get closer. here, I guess.
Man.
It's times where like, I got my moments where I be like bitching out, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to quit, you know what I'm saying? And like, my niggas be like, bro, you tripping. And so it's moments for sure where like, I have my little weenie moments and I want to quit and I want to tap out, but your team, you know what I'm saying, God, and then your journey, like knowing what you've been through is what's gonna really keep you and push you over the top, you know what I'm saying? Without those three things, like you might give up on yourself, you know what I'm saying? Giving up on yourself is not too far-fetched, you know what I mean? It's really not. But you gotta have the people in position and you gotta strategically keep people around you that's gonna big you up, you know what I mean? The whole world is gonna hate you, you know what I'm saying? We get bigger and bigger and it's just a bunch of hate, you know what I'm saying? But I lean on the ones that's closest to me, my shorty, you know what I'm saying, my closest friends that's like, yo, like, you the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? And they big you up in times of like, when it's hard.
Yeah, man, shout out to that, shout out to that. Shout out to everybody out here motivating and inspiring somebody. That means a whole lot. Yeah, make some noise for that.
Yeah.
So, we know you want to jump into the hospitality realm.
For sure.
Okay. And like I said, make sure y'all follow Grub Good LA to catch the restaurants and all the eat-spots out here. Now, why is the hospitality realm so inspiring to you?
Man, so for those of you who don't know, hospitality,
Food, yeah.
Food, you know what I'm saying, like throwing events, clubs, and things like that. You know, just even as a youngin', like one of my favorite things to do is pull up in a nice V12. You know what I'm saying, with a fine shorty on the side of me, you know what I'm saying? No cap, this is what I like, you know what I'm saying? Probably like something on my wrist, something nice, you know what I mean? Valet, dude open up the door, you come into the restaurant and it's an experience, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice steak, you know what I'm saying? Some nice pasta, whatever it is. And you could just really connect with a shorty over a nice meal. Like that's super duper dope to me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was one of the craziest things you could do. Or even if it's like a group of friends, you know what I'm saying? So I think that experience is super duper. First of all, it promotes the idea of abundance. You know, as a young man, like I said, I looked up to P. Diddy, dudes with money. And so for me, looking into hospitality spaces, like how can I introduce a level of luxury, a level of abundance, and more importantly, like a level of camaraderie around people from where we from, you know what I'm saying? And so that's really, I look at dudes like David Grutman, I look at dudes like the Houston brothers who opened up the Moxie downtown LA, which is gonna be crazy in a month. And I can assure that people in this crowd don't know what that is.
Facts.
But they bring in a taco truck or a food truck on the 59th floor, you know what I'm saying? They got people swinging from side to side, and it's like an experience that you gotta just go out and get. When I grew up going to Sizzlers when I graduated, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
shout out to Sizzlers.
Yeah, Sizzlers in Inglewood, you graduate,
Come on now.
Nigga, we going to Sizzler. And it's like, damn, I should be eating a nice ass steak. I just graduated, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. So it's really just bringing experiences to our culture, you know what I mean? That's the biggest thing for me.
Man, shout out to that. Now, let's talk about Sbrbn Wifey. What got you started with making sure that you represent the women? Because we know, sometimes the women don't get as much appreciation or get the spotlight.
I'm a real simple dude, bro. Like I said, I like going to nice places, and I like to have a beautiful shorty on my side.
And that's where Sbrbn Wifey came from.
You never see me in a whack whip, and you never see me with a shorty that wasn't solid. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to that.
So, just showcasing beautiful women. Like, everybody likes beautiful women energy. And beautiful is not necessarily looks, but it's just the way that a woman carries herself. You can walk in with a shorty. Yeah, she ain't got to be a model, but all my shorties is doctors. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
different levels.
What you want from me? You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Well, shout out to that, y'all. Now, Scottie, where do you see Sbrbn LA going in the next 10 years?
We'll be the biggest media company in Los Angeles culture. Point blank, period. No ifs, ands, and buts.
Shout out to that. Clap it up for that. Now, I appreciate you pulling up, chopping this good game, Scottie. What's something that people need to understand about how important Sbrbn LA is to LA culture? And what's the thing that you know that you're going to change for people?
Man, the most important thing is we're not a meme page, you know what I'm saying? We are a media company and we're here to push the culture forward. And when I say that, We're here to come from where we're coming from and go to a place where all of us can thrive, all of us can operate out of a place of abundance, and all of us can make something of our lives. What was the second question?
Now the second question is, how important is suburban LA for the culture?
I think it's super important. You know what I'm saying? I think we've never had a place to where black people, and I include brown people in that as well, but I specifically, what is it when you make the text extra dark, bold, bold black.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Capital letters, whatever you call it. There's never been a place where black people in Los Angeles can come and get their voice off. You know what I'm saying? There's Los Angeles Times, there's LA Taco, there is, I can name a bunch of different stuff, but I feel like in my heart, Sbrbn is the first place where black people can go to a spot and feel like this represents where we're from and what we go through as a people. And we want to just take that idea and expand the minds of the people, and that's really what we're here to do.
Man, shout out and clap it up to that, y'all.
Go ahead. Well, finish? You finna wrap it up? My question will be for you. I want to recuperate that same question because I feel like when I met this man, we did an interview, and I forget the studio.
Is that Z-God? Shout out Z-God.
We did an interview at Z-God. It was phenomenal. I think he did a really good job. But turn around, and I asked God I want to do an event at Peppermint Club, and this is no way, shape, or form what I imagined it to be. But when I look back, maybe 4 months, whatever the case may be, like, you put me in a position to be at Peppermint Club. And so I would love to hear your perspective on how you got where you are now, you know what I'm saying, versus where we was at Z Club. I'm sure you still rock with Z Club, which is a great establishment.
Yeah, I'm still there.
But, like, how does it feel to go from where we was just 2 months ago to, like, being in front of a crowd, big or small? Like, like, how do you feel? You know what I'm saying? How did you get here?
Well, for one, I started with my iPhone, all right? I wanted to do interviews. I was motivated and inspired by hearing Nipsey Hussle talk about how he lost everything. Tyler Perry was homeless. I was inspired by that, and actually I had started 2 businesses before that, and they both flopped, right? But I learned a lesson from both of those businesses. I learned one that I know that I really love something when it gets hard and I keep going. I really didn't understand you had to like sacrifice. I didn't understand that. So when I got here, like I said, I started with my iPhone. I stayed consistent, relationships, and we here. You know what I'm saying? We here. You know what I'm saying? We did a lot of manifestation, a lot of praying, and a lot of hard work.
And what do you feel like is next for Clapitup LA?
Live interviews every month.
Every month?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are y'all going to show up every single month? Yes.
Every month. Yeah. And here's the thing. It's only up. Come on. It's only up. Everybody say it's only up.
It's only up.
So real quick,
I'm going to put myself on Front Street. How many of y'all in here follow Sbrbn LA? Alright, it's like 40%.
Let's spell it
I'll
wrong.
take it.
So look, on Instagram, Sbrbn LA. Look at her. She put her phone out. Shout out to that.
You got the right energy. That's what I'm talking about.
Sbrbn LA. Real quick, I want to ask anybody in the crowd, do y'all have a question for Scottie? Okay, here you go.
Cool.
Right here. Shout out to you. Make sure you say your name on Instagram.
My name is Adriana Mbaflike. My Instagram is Olam Productions.
Clap it up.
But my question for you is, where in your space do you find time for God and to listen to Him and make sure that you keep going where you go?
Man, that's a great question.
Great question.
Shout out to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like that question came straight from God Himself. I swear to God, I'm not gonna lie to you right now.
What was the question?
When do I find time for God? Yeah, that was tough, right? Maybe not tough. So check it. I'm still working through that. I got, and I say this man's name a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I owe him a lot, but. Craig York has been a huge part of just like bringing God into my life and keeping Him there. You know what I'm saying? God been reaching out to me a lot. And I kind of like shade away because it's a certain level of excellency that God requires that I don't know if I'm, ready for. No, He fuck with me for sure. I just got to show up.
Just show up.
I'm still working on that. You know what I'm saying? I literally woke up this morning and I opened up the Bible app and I read like 2 lines and I'm like, I ain't reading this shit today. And I got off, and this is real shit. I'm just giving you my story. You know what I'm saying? And so I try my best to read a verse every single day. It doesn't always work that way. But I just try to wake up every morning and get it in. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't have the discipline to make it happen. But yeah, what I can say is like I feel in my heart like that was God telling you to ask me that, and that's just, it's cold that He sent you to do it. But I got the message for sure. I get it.
I feel like for me, like I'm still getting there. I feel like exactly what you feeling.
Yeah.
Because I would be like, I question like, why do you want me to do this? What's the point of this?
Mm-hmm.
And he just told me like, faith of a mustard seed. A mustard seed is small, and you go
For
bigger.
sure.
We take practice. So that's what it was for me.
For sure.
Right for the mustard seed. Clap it up for that. All right, if anybody else got a question for my guy Scottie in Sbrbn LA. Man, y'all don't want, yeah? Okay, let's go. What's your name and what's your Instagram?
You get your name.
My name is Miss Hicks. Okay.
You a teacher?
I am.
Okay. Anybody say miss anything is a teacher?
Yeah, facts.
I am. So what's next?
What's next? Original content. You'll see original content from us by way of YouTube, or better way of putting it, audio, video. So YouTube, podcast is next for us. Throwing our own events, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be next for us. Anything that's going to be original content is next for us. Right now, we've done a great job of curating the voice of LA. Next is going to be, whether y'all like it or not, my face, you know what I'm saying? The creators from our brand that we bring up. And original content, that's really the one thing we've been focusing on for sure.
Well, define original content, because that's very vague.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a vague answer.
It really is.
It
Like,
really
is it?
Yeah, because
Okay, black women, I like to push back. Damn. Okay, so again, damn.
Like, are you creating it, or like I'm creating it? Like,
Original being, we're launching a podcast August 1st. So that
who is we?
we mean me and the rest of the team. Craig York, Jaya Stokes, the rest of the team. Luna, Sarita, Joshua, like I can name the names. But it's really, to answer your question, it's really things that come from our minds. So again, you go on our Instagram, you go on anything that we do, we're reposting what you guys are saying, and it's done a very good job. But next, it's gonna be introducing things that we think are dope to you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's the next iteration. So a lot of things we post is like, we'll post a cool date spots in LA. They don't come from us. Now they need to come from us. Or things that happen in LA culture, instead of us talking about LeBron being swept. Or not LeBron, I'm sorry. Instead of the Lakers being swept, instead of it coming from Twitter, it's going to come from my voice, or Sarita's voice, or a voice that is within our camp. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what's next for us.
Alright, I pray great things, perseverance.
I appreciate it.
Abundance. Amen. Amen.
Amen. They ain't saying amen, they ain't asking questions.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Wow.
And real quick, I gotta ask, how do you feel now about the response that you're getting? How many people are like, oh, I'm surprised this is you now?
Yeah, I love it. I think it comes with online it's like hate, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be talking mad shit. It's like, shit ass nigga, whatever. But in person I get all love, and like that's one of the things that energizes me, you know what I'm saying? Like I love when I go somewhere and like straights know who I am. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Like, you capitalize off of that.
Yeah.
Or dudes know who I am. Like that's super duper fulfilling. But again, I go back to my team where like they'll call me on the phone and be like, yo, like that shit is cool. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get lost in niggas knowing who you are on this basic ass level, but we got a real life mission that we trying to accomplish, and they hold me to a higher standard. So as much as I love the admiration and I love the notoriety, I got a team that's behind me that's like, yo, that's not what we going for. That's a part of what we doing. Niggas is gonna know who you are, and that shit is cute, but that's what every LA nigga has done and got their name known, and that's where they stop. And so for us, we just trying to go way further down. Like, we really trying to push the culture forward and bring something to LA that you guys may have never seen before.
Shout out to that. Any more questions for Scottie? One more? Okay, it's the last question right here.
Are you looking forward to collabing with any other things, like as for like promotion or any of that?
You say collaboration, what you mean? Like
Collabing with people that do, like you said you would like to collab. I mean, like you would like to do events eventually. Are you looking to collab with anybody that does any certain type of events?
Absolutely. So I probably can't say no name because we ain't signed a contract. Okay, you hear Craig. I can't say no names, but we're definitely interested and we're on the look for different event partners. We're looking for digital partners for sure. We got some people in the pipeline. So yeah, we're in a space right now where like, humbly speaking, I think we're like one of the biggest brands in Los Angeles culture. And so we're definitely looking for partners that make sense for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with the dudes over at LA Hood Media. We're not LA Hood Media. We're a little different. And so we want partners that align with what we do and make sense for us, and that's going to push the culture forward in any space that we operate. So, absolutely, yeah.
Shout out to that, shout out to that. Last but not least, Scottie, what do you clap it up for?
Shoot. I clap it up for like peace of mind, bro. That shit's huge right now.
Facts, clap it up. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. Clap it up for Scottie and Sbrbn LA one more time.
Yeah.
We just chopped that good game. It's your boy J.Brock and Clapitup LA, Scottie and Sbrbn LA.
Clap it up for this.
And we out.
Appreciate y'all for real.